It looks like something out of an epic science fiction movie, but this military march is very real. This is the Army of North Korea, or the Democratic People's Republic of Korea as they are officially known, and it is led by one of the most dangerous men on earth, Kim Jong Il. Through a reign that emphasizes a military-first doctrine, Kim Jong Il rules his impoverished nation with a totalitarianistic iron fist. All of the citizens of North Korea are brainwashed into loving their leader, and even refer to him as the son of God. This communistic, terrorist-run society has recently gone from being a hostile annoyance to a worldwide threat with its discovery and illegal development of nuclear arms. The People's Army of Korea is almost 2 million soldiers strong, making it one of the biggest military forces in the world. In North Korea, military service is a requirement to graduate from high school, 7 years for males and 5 years for females. In addition, all citizens are required to attend 13 years at a military school, where they are brainwashed to willingly give their lives for their benevolent leader, Kim Jong Il. When you take into account that the entire country's population is only about 23 million, this active military of 2 million people with a ready-to-fight reserve of over 8 million more, these numbers get a whole lot more drastic. If those kind of numbers were in America, 1 out of every 10 people you knew would be in the war in Iraq, and 1 out of every 3 would be ready to fight in the next troop surge. The border between North and South Korea is the most heavily defended in the world. On either side there are miles and miles of landmines, barbed wire, motion sensors, and other surveillance and wartime technologies, as well as over 3 million soldiers between the two nations. In the Korean War, the fighting stopped in 1953, but the war is technically not over. The two sides only signed an armistice, not a peace treaty, and the border is now a demilitarized zone, or DMZ for short. Largely due to unsuccessful negotiations, North Korea is politically isolated from the rest of the world. It is a surveillance nightmare and is one of the most heavily censored countries in the world. They will not let out any information about anything that's going on inside its borders. All we know is what is publicly released, which is mostly parade footage and what our spies feed us. North Korea has a long history of dirty dealings, undercover intelligence work, international terrorism, and even assassination attempts. In fact, they are on the US list of terrorist sponsors and were listed on the axis of evil by President Bush in 2002. There is a good probability that they have sold missile technologies to Libya and Syria against the consent of the UN. Kim Jong Il has also sold smaller arms to separatist groups and is believed to be part of a black market weapons chain. They have also kidnapped countless Japanese and South Koreans and tortured and held them prisoner for up to 20 or more years. Direct acts of terrorism have stopped since 1987, when they tried to blow up a Korean Airlines civilian jet just because they were jealous that they had not been offered the chance to co-host the Olympics. Also, in 1983, North Korea tried to assassinate the South Korean president with a timed bomb, but the president got stuck in traffic and the bomb went off early, killing 17 South Korean delegates, but not the president himself.
One of the major issues that the United States is dealing with at the moment is trying to figure out a way to deal with Kim Jong Il and his nuclear capabilities. One possible method of denuclearizing North Korea would be to execute a precise military strike. Although this would eliminate North Korea's nuclear power, it would also greatly harm international relations with both China and South Korea, because they are both opposed to using force. Another plan is to continue the economic isolation that is already taking place. While this would have the possibility of crumbling the Kim regime, it would also strand China and South Korea with millions of refugees.